what have you been doing during quarantine time?
I have been doing a lot of sitting in my room and playing video games and watching old NBA games and yeah, it's actually what I've been doing a lot of. So, that 2011 Mav run, that's a good run. I don't know if y'all remember that run. That was a good run.
Yeah, I was rooting for the Heat in that series.
Yeah, oh, you sick. Okay. No, but seriously, seriously, since spring semester ended, I've kind of been doing a lot of nothing. For a couple weeks, my one objective in life was to find a job, and that's kind of strange when you can do that all online. So I spent like 30 minutes a day applying for jobs, and then the rest of the day I would just be sitting in my room doing nothing. But life has picked back up with summer school and a job. So
where are you working?
Yeah, just I'm kind of a lifeguard down here in College Station. One of the public pools opened back up. So yeah, lifeguarding down here, catching some sun and getting paid for it. So
you're gonna be nice.
Living the life. Yeah.
Just bronzed. Go.
Steve, what about you, man?
So, the question was, what have I been doing?
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, road tripped home from California, where I go to school, which is a pretty crazy journey.
What happened?
So, well, first of all, I was on a plane I play basketball at my school, and we were on a flight to the Sweet 16 in Chicago for the NCAA tournament. And as we were on the plane, like on the runway, before we took off, the NCAA sent out a memo that they're canceling all tournaments. And so they turned the plane around and let us off, and we had 3 days to pack up and leave campus for good for the rest of the semester. So packed up my sister's Mini Cooper. A buddy of mine was coming to stay with me, so packed up. We're caravanning with a friend from Austin, and I don't think the Mini Cooper could handle all that weight in the back. And in the middle of the Mojave Desert, completely blew a tire. Not like a flat tire, like there was no tire left. We were 100 miles on either side from any civilization. Like, it was a Sunday afternoon, like, so hardly any tire shops were open, and it ended up, like, after 4 hours of waiting, a tire shop on the border of California and Arizona drove out and got us some new tires, and so it was pretty crazy. Super fun time, actually, in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, you'll remember that.
We were just chilling, had a picnic, played
it's
some
a good story.
guitar, and so yeah, we ended up making it back. And since then, I was really busy with school. School is still pretty tough, unfortunately. That took up a lot of time, and I started volunteering with a nonprofit in San Francisco that my aunt was involved with, and so they work with the homeless community there, and are putting them in hotels and creating like a buddy system with volunteers, like calling the people who are staying in the hotels right now, and working on food security and reuniting them with their loved ones. So that's been super cool, and it turned into an internship, so that's what I'm doing this summer, which is awesome. I'm excited. And yeah, also, like, I didn't watch a lot of Netflix. I did a lot of just like calling people, and like I said, I had my buddy here, so we just I started running. I've never run before in my life.
Steve running?
But I found there are like some woods by my house. There's a dope trail, and so it was fun to explore. But yeah, I'd never run before in my life. I still kind of hate it, but the exploring was fun. Yeah, that's about it, honestly. Just I learned the guitar. I'm getting a little bit better.
Oh, wow. Pretty significant. Good for you, man.
He's like,
assembled a basketball hoop in my driveway.
of course, you got to keep it.
You're really adapting here.
He's trying
I feel
to
like
do stuff in quarantine.
Yeah, just been playing 2K, kind of.
Basically the same kind of basketball, right?
Yeah. I'm getting really good, Steve, so I don't know.
I don't even have. There we go. Wish I had 2K. But
Yeah. Well, what is something that like you feel like God has taught you during the season?
Yeah, something the Lord has taught me is definitely, besides patience, is looking for opportunities that you wouldn't think would come up in situations like this. I think I can say with almost certainty that this year has not gone the way anyone planned it to. And so to think that we would be in June and still struggling through new things every day and nothing is going the way we planned it, opportunities will still arise. I somehow still found a job in CSTAT. Summer school is still happening. And kind of like Floyd was saying earlier, like maybe some more time at home means more time with the kids, So just looking at it in a different, more positive light, to every negative, there's a positive. So that's kind of something that I've been learning and looking at is changing my perspective of things. Not everything has to be so grim.
Yeah.
It's tough to think like that because everything on the news is super grim. But just a lot of patience and a lot of positivity. So I think so.
yeah,
Preach it, man. Preach it.
let's go. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, for me, I think a lot of it was just I've learned a lot about accepting imperfection, and like being able to rejoice in that in a way. So I just am a really bad perfectionist myself, and so it was pretty hard to. I felt like I was just failing in basically all areas of my life. Even before quarantine, it was a big mental struggle for me, and so I think through being home and about as imperfect times as you could get, the most imperfect in my lifetime, learning to just kind of embrace that and realize that we are imperfect and that's okay.
Yeah.
Realizing that I got caught up saying, I'm not good enough at this, I'm not enough at this, and just weighed down by that. And I think God just had me literally look down at my wrist and see like my bracelet, like God is big enough, and like finding the answer there. And just being able to see that, and both in myself and with my family, and being able to see their imperfections and being okay with that. And a lot of it was relinquishing control as well for me. Obviously not much in our control during this crazy time, so that was something that I think I do as a perfectionist, is I try to just control everything that I can. And realizing that I can't control other people, I can't control circumstances to an extent, and being okay with that, and just just letting God be in control, as kind of abstract and as that might sound, like just kind of relinquishing that and letting God take over, and just kind of, like Brian said, finding positivity in whatever the circumstances, and just kind of rejoicing in that, like just finding like a simple joy in whatever situation we're in. So I think that kind of sums it up. Anything exciting since last summer?
Yeah, just something significant that's gone on.
Dang, that's a tough one.
Guys, you had time to prep.
I know. I'm pretty sure I had an answer to this question.
I got on the Zoom call. I was like, that's what I'll say for this answer, and it totally slipped out of my mind.
I lost it. For
me, Steve, you got one?
I had nothing. I was gonna try to.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. This past spring semester, I took Bible as literature, which was the first religious class I've ever taken in a school setting. And I was really nervous because I thought it was either going to really test what I knew in the Bible and prove that I actually know nothing, or I actually know a good amount of stuff. And it turns out I actually know nothing. So I spent the spring semester learning a lot about the Bible, more than I think I did in my 20 years combined. So that is something that I think I've done since White Chapel that has really kind of changed my perspective on kind of how I operate. Just diving into the scripture from more of a kind of literature kind of point of view, and really just analyzing what Jesus and the writers of the Bible were trying to say. It was a different experience for me to look at the scripture that way. So yeah, I guess that's something that's happened to me that is significant.
I took that class. I don't remember.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember anything from it, because I think I took Bible is Lit, and then I took an Old Testament and a New Testament class.
Yeah, it was a hard class. It was a lot of reading, but
yeah.
super interesting.
Steve still has nothing.
I mean, I started playing the guitar, but I'm not very good.
What songs can you play?
The first song I learned was Reckless Love. I've learned Beautiful
Singing
Crazy.
too?
Huh?
Are you singing too?
Yes, I am. I suck at singing.
You gotta practice.
I was trying to be like, I honestly like through like worshiping, like when I started like actually singing during worship, like probably my junior or senior year, like I think my voice got a lot better just from like actually singing, but there are also so many people around also singing. And for some reason, like in my head, I think I'm okay, because like when I sing along to songs, I'm like, that doesn't sound too bad. And then like, so I was trying to be like romantic the other day and like guitar and singing.
Bro, where can I find this video? Please send it.
Long deleted.
Post it immediately.
It was gone. It was so bad.
That's the Lord's work, man. That's the Lord's work.
It was very humbling.
Yeah.
So, like I'm really excited. Like I learned it when I first got back from quarantine, and I go down. My parents are really big on. They're like, all right, come down and like, play for us. And so I do, and I sing along. And you know, I was thinking they're just getting really excited for me, because like when I got the guitar for Christmas, and like I didn't know anything. I couldn't even play a chord.
Yeah.
And so, you know, this was the first time they'd seen me play the guitar in a month. And so they were like, thought they would just be excited that I could, you know, strum along to a song. And they were just like, you need to work on your singing. Like,
Your parents, man?
like, that's
Deadly aim. My goodness.
what I started doing though, I guess something kind of new is like I've been really curious about like diving into some like theological questions and trying to see not just like, you know, philosophically, you know, where the answers lie, but like really seeing what scripture says. So just trying to read like specifically like Romans and Hebrews. I just kind of like read through them. I thought that reading scripture like for personal time like was just, you know, you read like a chapter or two for 30 minutes to an hour, and that was about it. And so I just like sat down and read them all the way through, just like in a sitting, and it didn't take very long, honestly. I've never done it before. Yeah, just really trying to, you know, find out what Paul says, and you know, Paul's authority, and what he says about Jesus, what he says about the gospel, what he says about freedom and salvation and all that good stuff. So just trying to, you know, really like dive in, like figure out for myself, like, you know, what I believe and where I lie on all those things. And it's been a headache. Sometimes it's really discouraging because I have no idea
Yeah.
what's going on. I get too caught up in questions and kind of, I think, miss the beauty in it. I started, well, I didn't start it, but I was part of a Bible study with my buddy Bryce. I know you know Bryce. He reached out to me
Yeah.
weeks ago, and we started just reading scripture together and talking about life. And we got a couple other buddies to join, and so we just meet up in his backyard and talk about life and read some scripture, and that's been really cool. That's probably been my favorite part of quarantine. I don't know that.
That's awesome.
That's good. Well, final question. Favorite memory of your time on staff with WC?
See, you didn't clarify that when you asked the question. That changes things.
All right, fine. Final memory.
No. That's true. That's
How about you give both? That'll be interesting.
You can give both. Give your first one, and then we can talk about. Then you can think about your second one.
all right.
Because apparently you've already got something.
I was just gonna. It's got to be something from like my the old cell groups, either at the Westerbergs or at Belo's house, Blake Logan's house. Just some of those conversations we had with JT and Sam. They're just unforgettable. So hey, what stays in the cell group stays. What happens in a cell group stays in a cell group. But yeah, we can't disclose that information. No, but seriously, some of my favorite memories are from cell group. So
That's good.
Yeah, cell group was awesome. That was really where my relationship with Jesus took off.
Mhm.
Those are some fantastic memories. Honestly, like my favorite, it's not like a singular memory, but my senior year, like second semester, when I would just like come up to the office and like me and you, Floyd, and we'd bring Sturge sometimes, like we'd just go upstairs and just build stuff and go to Home Depot and just hang out. And we went to seminary class with you, your Revelation class.
Yeah.
That was super fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed that class more than.
Yeah, we were paying more attention than you were.
Oh, for sure. Was not paying attention.
I'm taking notes and Floyd just goofing around on his laptop.
set you up well for college. Now that's how you take notes, man.
Don't be exposing me, man.
Let's see, favorite Whitechapel intern memory has to be either Steve and I cleaning out that room in middle school mission trip in the poop water in Tulsa. Floyd, did Floyd know about this? Was Floyd aware what we were doing?
You didn't know, Floyd?
Because I think we broke a couple child labor laws.
Definitely did.
This is gonna get deleted.
This is all deleted. You can't play any of this.
This is the first thing that came to my mind too.
Wait, what happened? I don't actually.
So a home in Tulsa got flooded and the sewage got all backed up, so
Right.
it was regurgitated onto the floor. So the whole house smelled like poop and pee,
4 feet of
and it was a hoarder.
mold.
Yeah.
Like it was 4 feet up, like on the wall was like all mold.
Oh gosh. Okay, see, I remember that part, but like, what are you talking about? Like cleaning out a room?
I mean, we literally had to go through a room, clothing item by clothing item, and check for snakes.
Yeah, so we get to the side, and then the youth center who was like running things was just talking.
What was
to
her name? Michaela?
Oh
Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah, I think so.
good times with her. So she's talking to us, and it's just like, I guess me, you, Brian, and Wesley. There's one other dad there.
Bill was there.
Was it Chris?
It was Bill, because Bill was my team leader.
Yeah.
I don't know who else would have been there. Maybe Chris. So we're staying there, and she's like, "All right, so I'm gonna be real with y'all. There's a room in there that's just like the lady who lived here was a hoarder, and so there's a room in there that is like piled almost to the ceiling with just random junk, like clothes and stuff. And yeah, when we like inspected the house, like there were, we found like a couple snakes and some rats in there. So who volunteers to we're only trusting like leaders to clean out this room. So I need 2. And then all the like the grown-ups would just, like look at me and Brian. They're like,
yeah, Bill or Wesley go, these guys will do it.
and me and Brian are just like, okay. We walk in and it's just like the smell just.
Dude, the smell.
We're still wearing suits though. But it wasn't,
Yeah, but
it wasn't covered all that.
And but we walked.
yeah, we were in COVID gear before COVID, man. We were OG.
We really were before it was a real look. But yeah, there was no daylight in the room. Like that's how covered it. I don't know how we cleaned it out.
Did y'all find any snakes?
I remember.
I thought we saw.
We were scared so many times. Like we thought we saw something, and then it turned out to be like a clothing item or something.
It was terrifying though, because she was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, take everything out, one item of clothing at a time." And
Wow.
so we
So
were.
you don't get eaten?
So what?
So
Oh,
you don't get like bit by a snake if you're like got like a pile of
yeah, you don't want to be reaching into the pile and the snake bites your hand. So just,
Yeah.
bro, I've never been more scared in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Going under the bed and like it was so. There were like I know for a fact. I remember a rat running out.
Yeah.
The house. The kids thought it was. We had this. The 8th grade boys. They thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, that was definitely a moment of bonding between me and Steve.
That's definitely.
I looked at it, I was like, hey, bro, I'm pretty terrified.
I'm so sorry. I did not know.
I was trying to be macho.
Yeah.
Brian looks at me. He's like, "I'm scared." I'm like, "I'm terrified."
Well, I guess we got to do it.
Man,
No, that is one of my favorite memories.
probably one of the hardest jobs we've ever had. It was that.
It was tough.
Our boys killed it though.
Yeah,
The most impressed I've ever been by
pulled it together.
like high school included. Like our boys killed it. Like
That last day, man, we did work.
worked so. I mean, like we literally ripped the house down to its studs. Like in like 2 days. And I mean, cause like we went from having to clean out the house, like what Brian and I were doing, which probably took a majority of the first day. And then like we took like all the drywall out, like took down literally just everything to its studs. And yeah, it was a crazy time, but our boys killed it.
Not doing it. I'm glad y'all did, not me.
Yeah, I know. Floyd would have walked right out of the room.
Like, sorry guys, I'm going back. I'm coming all the way back to South Lake.
I'm gonna go wait in the van where all the water's at.
Real. I am so terrified of snakes. It's ridiculous. Or even just the thought of them.
That Brian, that was by far my favorite memory too.
I was like, there's so much I could say, but how could I forget the hoarder?
That was crazy.
Oh, what a mess. What a mess. All right, well, that's it.